What really happens in VFS Global office? One small error can delay your visa by weeks. Let me share you my story so that you can avoid the same fate. Bonjour. Welcome back to India to France. I'm Ramya and I'm doing my master's in communication and brand content at TBS Education in France. So today I'll take you through my personal experience applying for French visa, and this vlog includes a lot of tips, insights and step-by-step breakdowns. So if you're someone who is applying for visa particularly to France, then stick around. For those of you who don't know me, I am Ramya. I have completed my bachelor's in electronics and instrumentation, and I've worked for some couple of years in marketing. So I did not pursue my bachelor's. I did not transition into my career. So I switched to marketing, where I worked for a good number of years, and then I really wanted to validate it, and I needed my certificate for that, and that's why I wanted to do my master's. And the year when I felt comfortable to pursue this along with my partner, that is Rahul, so both of us wanted to do our masters in our respective field, and Rahul is into supply chain. So when we started to apply for schools or colleges, France was on the very top of the list. So that's why we are pursuing this. And so since we are applying for France, and I belong from South India, that is from Karnataka, so Bangalore was the nearest Campus France office, so that's why we have applied here. And apart from that, I've heard from a lot of people since I've been here in France for like almost 1 year. So I've been speaking to so many people, and I got to know that the office in France, the VFS Global office in France, has a higher rate of visa acceptance compared to other. So I do not validate it, but something insider tip that I got from people. So that was my first reason to apply to Bangalore office. So why France? Why exactly France, and why not other? Well, to be honest, we had also planned for Netherlands. That was our very first choice, but then due to a lot of, because the Netherlands is very stricter, or I don't know, they had a lot of rules, and we couldn't get through any the schools that we had a list of. So immediately we switched, and France was topping because I am from marketing and Rahul is from supply chain. So the one country that suited best was France, and this was in terms of climatic conditions as well, because as someone who is traveling first time out of India, the climatic conditions means a lot. So I didn't know if I could survive, because I know one of my relative, they were in one European country and they had to face a lot of health issues, and that's why they had to get back. So this was also one of the fears that was dwelling inside me. So I considered this aspect as well, apart from all the important aspects, okay, which you usually look up for. So considering all that plus the climatic conditions, so France was actually the top one, and that's why we pursued France. Now coming to the preparation, firstly booking the appointment. So once I got the NOC certificate from Campus France, that's when immediately on the same day I went ahead and started to book the appointment for the VFS Global, because I didn't wanted it to delay. Okay, one thing that you should keep in mind, or something which I and Rahul kept in mind, was that we have to be quicker in terms of applying for the visa, because the quicker we are, the higher chances of getting accepted, provided all the documents are exact and it's in the right way, and it's not in a complicated manner, and you have everything. So that was one of the factors that we were considering. I will also link the video once I make here, somewhere here, of how Campus France worked and what were the interview questions, somewhere here or at the very end of the vlog. Regarding the document checklist, of course, you have to carry all the list of documents which will be given to you in the email by the Campus France. Definitely make sure you get that. Apart from that, also keep in mind that you have to have a valid flight bookings. So I would recommend you not to go for the dummy ones, uh, so just stick to the real ones, the book, actually book the flight tickets, get your accommodation sorted. So initially when I had spoken to one of my friend who has already considered, who has already finished his masters in the same city, so when I asked him, he was here maybe in the year 2019 or 20ish, he said initially he had booked the accommodation for 2 weeks. But when I asked the same in Campus France, like how many months of accommodation is to be booked, they suggested me to go for 2 months. But however, I still did not do that. I booked for 3 weeks of Airbnb, and that was the certificate that I had, which I carried along with me. And then I had got some passport size photos as well done. But one thing to notice is that I did not know about the proportion that I need to have for the visa thing. That I'll come back to you in the other segment. So, but apart from that, this is what we have, all the documents. And to not worry, I have prepared a separate checklist, and I will add the link in the description. So you just have to click it and you can download the entire checklist of all the documents that you need to be carrying along with you. Now, arriving at the VFS GLobal office, I made sure that I arrive 15 to 20 minutes prior to the appointment slot. Luckily, where I stayed was in BTM stage 2. It was like 5 minutes walkable from my place to VFS GLobal office. So it was not a problem. So I booked the earliest slot that was available in the morning, I think around 9:15 or 9:30ish maybe. That was the earliest one available, but I made sure that I went there 10 to 15 minutes early. So what happens is you have to show your email screenshot or the email at the very entrance at the security, and he will let you inside. Once I get inside the building of the VFS GLobal office, I will be asked if I want to take the premium service or the regular ones at the front desk. So at that time when I was applying, it was January 2024. That was the intake that I was applying for. So I think I had been there in the September or October. That's when I had this VFS office appointment. So I did not go for the premium one because they offered one SIM card, and separate the interview would happen, or the process will take place in a separate cabin where you have lounge, and you'll be given with some drinks, so at a very premium price. So sorry, I can't afford that. Neither I was interested in doing that. So I thought going for the regular one, because there was no crowd as I was applying for the January intake. So I went for the regular one. So I don't know, you guys tell me, what do you think? Do you think going for the premium service would be helpful? Personally, for me, it was not. Let's hear what you have to say. Okay, now let's go step by step. At the very first one is the pre-registration desk. So what happens at pre-registration desk? So as soon as I said at the front office, or the desk, reception desk, that I would go for the regular one, so I was directed towards some seats over there where I had to go and wait for my turn. So I looked at the Schengen visas, that's the slot where I have to go and sit, and I waited for my turn. So once I went there, there was a lady who took all my documents and she started to sort it out. So I had put a lot of other documents which I had as well, some extras, so just in case. So she took it out. So one thing that I wanted to put it out there is that I had not taken any insurance. Okay, so a lot of people put questions on my YouTube comment asking for if they take insurance. So I had personally not taken any insurance. I even asked this for on the desk to the lady. She said not required, because I had already went prepared. If she says, if the person says that the insurance is mandatory, I would immediately book 1 month insurance from one of the insurance company. I will link that page if it's still available in the description. You can look it out, and that would cost me around some 700 or something for 1 month of insurance. So I was prepared to book it online, and immediately I could get it done. So she said it's not required, so any which ways I skipped it. And she sorted all my papers, and she took out all the unnecessary ones, and she clipped it, and then she looked at my photograph. So the ones that I had given was a passport size photographs, like a proper mugshot. She said it's not gonna work, and we have to take the pictures, with a 80% of face visibility. So that I did not have. So immediately I started to panic, thinking that, okay, now I have to go out, because this is my slot. This is when I'm supposed to be going through the process. She said, no, don't you worry. We have it all just right there. So in the same building, inside the office, I did not even have to go out. I was directed towards the photo shoot office or photography office, and I didn't have to say anything to him. He immediately took me in, and he took my picture. He said it would take 10 minutes, but he just gave it in 5 minutes. So it costed me 500 rupees for like 8 quick photos. So maybe you take care of it so that you don't spend those extra 500 bucks. So after that, I took the photographs, and I went back to the same lady and gave my photographs. So she had already pinned all my required documents, and she handed it to me so that I can get the pictures. So immediately she took those pinned documents and the photographs. She put it together and gave it back to me, and then she directed me to go to the first floor, and that's where the actual process happens. So I was happy, thinking that my documentation is done, but not yet. So I went to first floor, and immediately there was a guard. He asked me, or he helped me to get a token. I had to select that I'm applying for Schengen visa and not other visas. So he gave me a token, and it had a number. So it is my turn number. So again, I took it and went, I sat inside the lounge, and that's where I started to wait for my turn. So I spent around 30 to 40-ish minutes over there, because there were a lot of people, and a lot of Schengen visas were being applied at that moment, that too for the January intake, right? So I cannot imagine what happens in September, because that's when most of the people apply for study abroad. So yeah, that was it. I waited for like 40 minutes, and that's when my turn came, and my token number was displayed on the screen. So I went to the front desk when my number or the token number was displayed, and I gave those pinned documents to the person over there, and immediately they checked everything, and I again asked if there are any other documents that I need to be adding to this. They said no, this is all sorted, not to worry. And this is when I was asked to make the rest of the payment. So if you see how some part of the payment, or maybe 1/3 of the payment, you might have already done at the time of booking the slot. So I had paid around 2,800 rupees while booking the VFS GLobal slot, and the rest of the money, 4,547, is what I was asked to pay at this moment. So it could be paid using cash, or even the credit card, or UPI, GPay, anything. So I paid using GPay, and I was given with this pouch. So the same pouch which you get once your passport, you receive it back, right? Whether it's accepted, rejected. So you get this pouch. This was given to me along with one dossier, or the document holder. So this was given to me, and again those documents which were pinned, those were taken by the representative there, and I was asked to wait all over again, because the next step would be the biometric, right? So again I waited for like 15 minutes, and that's when I was called again inside. So there was a queue, no token or something, we just have to wait in the queue, and I was called inside. I was asked to give fingerprints of my both the palms entirely, and that's it. That just took 1 minute, and they took the pouch from me and the passport as well. And I asked, is that it, or what is next? So they said that's it. So if your passport, whether if it's accepted or rejected, this will still be sent to you. So you just have to look it up. So that was the process, and it went really smooth. So guys, you do not have to worry anything about this entire process. It's real simple and very easy. All you have to focus is that have the documentation done, and don't go for dummy bookings or anything which might raise suspicion, right, to avoid this rejection rate. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions or you need to speak to me just to exchange some ideas or my experience, if I could help you with that, you can always book a one-on-one call with me. I have put the link in the description below, and we can talk. And at the passport, I also asked, because I wanted it immediately, and I couldn't wait. So I asked if I can self pick up, because like I said, the passport VFS office was just 5 minutes walkable from my place. So I asked if I can come and pick it up once once we have the result of my visa acceptance or the rejection. They said that they would recommend me to go for the postal option, because that way we don't lose the passport, because many a times there has been case that the passports have been lost during this process. So to avoid that, go for the post one. So that's why I went for that. I was also curious, since you're watching this video, could you tell me which intake are you planning to apply? Drop it in the comment, please. So the tips or some takeaways from me is that the entire process took me around maximum 1.5 hours, but not more than that. So brace yourself for this. So if you are hungry, carry some stuffs with you. If you want to eat, drink, hydrate. So water is available, but something to eat, it's up to you. You can carry inside. And guys, I cannot stress enough, be very particular about your documents. Don't add or don't do anything in your documents that would be raise suspicion, in order to avoid the rejection rate. So even those who have booked a call with me, I have told them like multiple times to be very sure with your document. Have all the name proper. If there is any mistake in mistype or anything, have an affidavit for that. So have all the supporting documents, just in case if you need anything at that moment, you can just give it to them, right, for the supporting document. Because once the slot is over, again the process is going to be very tedious to go through it all over again. So to avoid that, because I understand applying for a study abroad, it's already a huge thing, and we are under so much pressure, like immense pressure, and on top of this tiny or minute issues, errors would delay your entire process, and it's best if you avoid this. Double check the requirements, and also confirm about your insurance, because I think it keeps on changing for every intake, whether you should take it or not take it. You confirm it then and there. Just like me, you also look up any insurance that you can immediately buy online if it is required, because I've known some people who had applied it up in like North India. For them, the insurance was mandatory. So I don't know how these things work. So, but this is what I did, and I successfully got the visa accepted at the very first shot, and there were no hiccups at all. So after all this process, it took me around 9 days to receive my passport back along with the visa, and it was accepted. Yeah, so 9 days is what it took, but for sometimes it may also take 6 to 10 days. So they have a buffer time of 15 days. So don't wait until the very last day to apply for the VFS Global, right? Because your school starts immediately, and if you're applying just 15 days prior, that's very cut to cut. And again, that might go in, a rejection slot. So avoid this. So finally, this entire process, initially it was overwhelming. The process was not really tedious, it was simple, but the waiting time after the process to receive my visa was so overwhelming. I just couldn't, sit idle. I would always think of it, and I know even you would also feel the same, because you have invested so much time, so much money, and lot of emotions. So it definitely is overwhelming. So, and as long as you're sure with all your documents, it's not much that you don't have to worry much about it. So that was my experience, and I have added the link in the description where you can click and download the entire list of documents. So it is something for your use and to make your process simple. Alright, so that's it from me. I hope this video was helpful to you and I could give out some informative insights about my experience in VFS Global. Alright, so if you found this video to be useful to you, make sure you hit that like button. Or if any of your friends is planning to apply for a Schengen visa, or in particular France, so make sure you share this with them, because I'm pretty sure he will thank you later, because this video is very insightful and gives you all the insider tips and tricks. And if you have not yet subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. If you found this video to be useful, so make sure you click on this link, because once you get your visa, that's when you should be prepared with all of the materials that you're going to carry here, be it your clothes, be it your food items, or anything of that sort. So this video clearly explains you what are the packaging items you should prioritize, like your itinerary list. Alright, so this is it in this vlog. See you in another one. Until then, bye.